Alright, so, I will be reconstructing my 24.33 Southeast Champion average, which is pretty decent for me, especially considering nerves, pressure, all that. Yeah, I'm honestly quite proud of it. Scrambles and text reconstructions will be in the description or linked or something. And without further ado, let's get into solve 1. So, this is what the scramble looked like on normal. I did it on a 4x4 just to demonstrate because I missed a lot. Nothing crazy, but... So I wrote down like 15 EOs, give or take. And started on the UD axis, so L prime, U prime, to reduce it from 6 bad to 4 bad edges, which are here, 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 and then down here. And you notice that they all have yellow on it, so when we miss, switch to the inverse, we will get EO in just one move, which was D. So 3 move EO, very nice. And it also, on like FB, left 4E, 4C, which you can kind of see has this nice bar and then kind of like this shape. So B prime, R2, B2, R2, pairs it up, like make another bar. B prime L, I actually think I did L prime, gives DR in 9 moves, which is pretty good, especially considering it's 4B2, 4 edges. And yeah, so to solve DR, I switched back to the normal. Right here, I couldn't really find anything directly with any like triggers or stuff, so I did F prime to reduce it to like increase it to 2C3 with 2 bad edges. And this is generally a much nicer case to work with, but there's nothing like direct here, so I switched again back to inverse, giving again 2C3, 2 edges, like on opposite sides of the cube, which is nice. So here it's pretty obvious. You can just do L prime or F prime to get it 4B2, 2E this time. Then like you see we have like a bar, so we can do L2, U2 to make the trigger shape, and B prime R2B just gives HTR in 16. So I ended up solving wrong slice here by doing like F2 to make like a bunch of bars. Like we have this, 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 all that on like RL instead of doing FB. I checked it, but nothing interesting. And then it's just like U2 to pair all this up, then L2, sorry, I can't, then D2, L2, D2 to just like get that into there, leaving 3 edges on the wrong slice, which is okay because the alg or the insertion cancels with the D2, which is -2, and then also the L prime R cancels with the L2, -1, and then that to finish the cube off in 6 minus 3 equals 24 moves. Yeah, so the whole solution just looks like yeah, which is pretty cool. And I did miss a 20 off the DR, but whatever. I'll do better next time. Just gotta learn from our mistakes. Alright, here's attempt 2. So this is the inverse of the scramble. And I think the EO count was like 644. Sorry, 664. Which is not bad. The EO I ended up going with was a 4 move EO on UD. Same axis as last time. which was just like to get this bad edge into here, just like L prime B L, and then D. Nothing too fancy, and this immediately looked very promising because it's just one move into a JZP, which on this axis is like JZP and then DR minus 6C 4E, but on this axis it's DR minus 0C 2E, and it's JZP. So when I switch, I knew it was probably going to be a pretty good case. So I switched, and as I expected, we got JZP with only 2 bad edges for domino reduction, which is pretty good. I did a 6-move solution, so just like F2 to set up the E layer edges into a better position, and then U2F to get into, like, this is kind of just like a trigger, but reduce it to 4C4E, and then U2D2 B prime to give DR. It's just like you just make these bars, and then B prime gives DR on the RL axis. You can see it's 2C3 4E, which is a pretty good subset. Yeah, so the next move I did was just R to reduce it to 4B2 2E, and switch to get right here. So it looks like it's just gonna be like you can't do like F2 and then insert, because like that gives fake HTR and also like a couple bad edges. So what you need to do is D2 to get 3 of the bad corners onto the same layer, like 1, 2, 3. L2 to fix like the parity case. Then U2 to set up a trigger, like here. And I think I did R D2 R prime to get HTR. Yeah, this looks like very promising with like a bunch of good blocks, like you might think there, and then insert that. But the best that I found was D2 R2 to kind of like set up, to kind of make this block and set this R face up, and then B2 to give like it's not floppy reduction, but it's just like it feels like floppy reduction on this axis. There might be some word for it, but it's just like 4 more moves into leaf slice, which is the correct slice this time. And yeah, it's +0, so that's leaf slice in 25 plus 0 gives 25. And if we go backwards to where we were with the HTR, D2 and then widening this R2, continuing and then widening that R2, U2 gives finish +0 equals 25 moves, which is all right. It's not bad. There were a lot. It's JCP, so there were a lot of variations, and I didn't get to check them all. There was again, like there was a 21 which I missed, but skill issue. I'll learn from my mistake, and next time not make that same one, which is at the end of the day all you can do. Yeah, let me. So, the complete solution on normal looks like this. Yeah. And at this point, like, I looked on WTA Live and I saw that I was like seated in third, which made me honestly really nervous for the last one. So I'm really proud of getting a 24 on that one, even though like there was better stuff available. But yeah, we'll do that one next. All right, so this is the final attempt on this one. I got a 24, which put me as Southeast champion for FMC in 2026, which I'm obviously very happy about. So yeah, here we go. Normal scramble. Very nice EO count. It was like six bad on this axis, and then like 2 bad on RL. So there were a ton of 4 movers, a couple 3 movers, and the one that I ended up going with was D2, just like kind of an extension, and then L B prime L, which gives instant RZP, which is like DR minus 4E 4C in this case, and there's not really anything too great on normal. It looks like there could be, but there's not. So I switched, and this looks very promising, and it was like lots of bars and blocks, and all I did was F prime D2 to make like this double column shape, and then L2 F prime D, which gives 2C4 in 9 moves. The interesting is I originally found this off of a 3-move EO. I think it was RF prime R. But there was like nothing. Like the best finish from that was like 16 that I found, or like 15. No, like 17 or something. There's something better, but I didn't find it. But I did a +1 extension to give a much nicer like HDR case. And the corners were well set up on both normal and inverse. Like if we NIST trace this corner, we see that goes there, and this comes here. So they're aligned on both sides, which is almost always very good. I mean, like pretty good. And since it's a DR in 9, I figured I'd keep checking it. So F simply reduces it to 2C3, and you can verify that it's 2C3 because like this is fake. Like there's not 2 and 2, it's 3 and 1. So you know that it's not like gonna be 2C5, because if all 3 axes were real when you swapped these two, then it would be 2C5, and you'd have to do an extra half turn to avoid that. But in this case, didn't need to. And it's 4E. So after looking around, I decided on going R2B to reduce it into 4B2 2E, and switch because nothing good. And yeah, this looks very nice. It might look like you can do like U2 to set up this trigger, but that gives fake HDR, so you have to do, luckily like 3 corners are already on one side, so you can just do like B2 to fix parity, L2 to set up the trigger on the other side, and then F prime D2F, giving HTR. And you can see this is kind of like this case where you have like just like one edge and then these blocks here. You can either do like R2 B2 R2 and then U2 D2, or like I just did U2 D2 L2 F2 L2 to give wrong slice. But if we backtrack a little to here, the edges are like very well set up. So you can do like U2 D2 like normal, and then U prime D prime, F2 U D prime, and then finish, which that's a 6-move insertion. But the U prime cancels with the U2 -1. The D cancels with D2 -1. Then the L2 at the end cancels with the other L2, giving a 6 minus 4. So that's plus 2 out of 24 moves, which secured my spot, 24.33 mean. Honestly, on this scramble, there wasn't much, like, anything better for me that was findable, so I'm very happy with this one. And this is the full solution. I found this in about 30 minutes, so the rest of the attempt I spent checking like the 8 mover, the 8 to 2c4, but couldn't find anything. It's all good. Got a 24, which I'm very happy with, and yeah, going forward, I think sub 24, like low 23 is definitely possible at my current skill level. Just need to work on nerf management and checking like checking wider instead of deeper, and yeah, hopefully at like Worlds I'll be able to cook. But until then, yeah, this is pretty awesome. FMC is the best event, and that's about it.